Renault Clio V6 Star in VR. Hello there everybody and welcome to OpaFed Gaming. I am the OpaFed. We're driving a 2000 Renault Clio V6 24V. We're driving it in a European Sunday Cup 400 at the Circuit de Sainte-Croix B reverse track. We're doing 2 laps. We're 12th out of 12, well we started 12th out of 12, and we started with a rolling start. Now these laps are decent length. We got 11 cars to pass, 2 laps, so let's pass 6 cars per lap. Now these vehicles, it's an awesome little car, the little Clio V6. It's got lots of power for a little car like that, but they're still not powerhouses. So the best you can do is try and catch up to the guy in front of you and, like this, cut him on the inside and get in front of him. You know, once you're in front of him, just put the pedal to the metal. We got a few nice straight stretches where we can pass without care or try to catch up to the ones way up in front. Now, even though these laps are decent length, we still got to get moving because, like I said, you know, 11 cars to pass is quite a bit, and when they're spread out across the track way ahead of you, it's going to take a little bit of work to catch up to them first. So, you know, we're about halfway through the first lap at the moment when we're coming up to the bridge up here. Now this little car really drives nice and smooth, but like I've said before many times, you have to respect the track. Now I used to be one of the worst ones. I would get in and start driving and I would just put the pedal down and go as hard as I can. But you have to slow down for the corners because it was a video game. You don't really think about it. But when you start thinking about it, start applying some common sense, you start slowing down for these corners and use the full width of the track, all of a sudden you can keep your speed going at a fairly good clip. You don't have to slow down too much. And if you do that, then you make better time. If you make better time, you catch up to the cars in front of you quicker and you have a better chance of winning the race. So keep that in mind. Now, we are driving in Gran Turismo and they normally drive pretty clean in this game. Every once in a while you get a car slipping off the track or spinning out or whatever, but it's not as wild as some of the other games. So you got to try and drive as clean a race as possible. Now, having said all that, we're rounding the corner here and coming up to the grandstands. Another nice straight stretch where you can pass at will and try and get ahead. And our first lap will be coming to an end here, and now we're halfway through the race. So we still got a few cars. Now I lost count, I wasn't paying attention, which is what the OpaFed does quite often. With the display turned off, you can't tell where you are in position. So if you want to know how many more cars you have to pass, you do have to keep count yourself. Keeping track of which lap you're in is not bad when you're doing 2 or 3. It's when you get up to 5 and 8 and 10 laps where you start to lose track of where you are. But when you get up to that high, 8 and 10, you're usually taking pit stops too. And in the pit stop, you can see where you are. Anyhow, through all that, we've been catching up to the lead car. I do believe that silver car is the lead car. We're having a little bit of a fight back with the yellow one beside us and the black one up here and then the silver one. But as soon as we got a chance and a little bit of a straight stretch, we're gonna rip by this guy and put him behind us and see if we can win this race. Well, this looks like a nice spot to try and take the lead. Like I said, they're not powerhouses, so it's not gonna go 1, 2, 3. But we will get there as we're catching up to the lead car now. Oh, just not quite there in time. Don't have enough power to get around him on the outside. So this is the kind of a race where you got to cut them on the inside like this. And now we get to get ahead of them, and once you're there, they tend to slow down a decent amount for the corners, and if you can push the corners just a little bit, not too much because you don't want to spin out in them, push them a little bit, then you get a little bit of a distance in between them and you. And if you keep an eye on them in the rearview mirror, as long as you can see them in your rearview mirror, and anything happens, you run into the wall, you hit another car or whatever, they will zip by you, because they're only about a second and a half behind you, which is not a lot of time for them. When you drive off the track, you'll lose that right now. And then of course by the time you get back on the track, it'll be too late. You won't be able to recoup your speed and catch up to the guy. So I've managed to push myself to drive with a little bit more patience, especially when I'm in the lead, and try and keep an even speed going and keeping a nice clean race going, thus winning the race. Anyhow, I hope that helps. This was a really awesome game this particular race was an awesome race to run, a nice flowing track, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, you've been racing with the Opafed.